Hi friends, today we are going to see about the poem They Flee From Me. It is also known as Remembrance. So it was written by Sir Thomas Wyatt. So this is a poem by 16th century English poet and courtier Thomas Wyatt. In the poem, the speaker laments the fact that he has fallen from favor. The women who used to seek him in his chamber now seem to flee from him. The poem is often associated with Wyatt's own biography. He is famously rumored to have had an affair with Anne Boleyn, one of Henry VIII's wife, but the poem more generally captures the sense of confusion, regret, and bitterness that can come with end of the relationship. It also proves and provides a great insight into the world of intrigue, suspicion, and changing fortunes. That was the Tudor court. About Arthur, he was born in 1503 at Allington Castle near Maidstone, Kent. He was died in 24th September 1542. Known for a 16th century English lyrical poet who introduced sonnet form into English literature. Family background. Father Henry Yacht, a close advisor to Henry VII and Henry VIII. Mother Annie Skinner. Education. He was studied at St. John's College, Cambridge. About his court life, he followed his father into service at Henry VIII's court. His publications, his poetry was not published during his lifetimes. His poems were published 15 years after his death. Okay, let me read this poem first. They flee from me that sometime did me see, with naked foot stalking in my chamber. I have seen them gentle, tame, and meek, that now are wild and do not remember that sometime they put themselves in danger to take bread at my hand, and now they range busily seeking with a continual change. Second stanza. Thanked be fortune it had been otherwise, 20 times better, but once in special, in thin array after a pleasant guise, when her loose gown from her shoulders did fall. And she me caught in her arms, long and small, therewith all sweetly did me kiss, and softly said, Dear heart, how like you this? Third stanza. It was no dream I lay bored waking, but all is turned through my gentleness into a strange fashion of forsaking, and I have leave to go of her goodness, and she also to use newfangleness. But since that I so kindly am served, I would fain know what she had deserved. Let us see about the structure and form of the poem. First form. The poem is composed in rhyme royal, a seven-line stanzaic form which is introduced by Geoffrey Chaucer. Secondly, meter. So the poem is written in iambic pentameter. It is also explains the emotional depth. And thirdly, tone. The tone explains the nostalgic feelings and bitterness of the speaker's emotional journey. Let us see the summary for this poem. Stanza 1. Lost affections. The speaker notices how people who once cared for him now avoid him. He uses the image of once gentle animals that have grown wild to express how former lovers have become cold and distant, forgetting the closeness once they shared. Stanza 2. A memorable encounter. He recalls a tender moment with a past lover. Lightly dressed, she hugged and kissed him, saying, Dear heart, how like you this? This memory stands out as a vivid and cherished piece of a love they once had. Stanza 3. Reflection and resentment. The speaker insists that this moment really happened, not just a dream. He reflects that his gentle nature may have caused others to leave him. With a touch of sarcasm, he remarks on how easily she let him go while she moves on, leaving him to wonder what she truly deserves for walking away. Let us see about the main themes of the poem. The fickleness of love. Love is shown as unstable. People can change their feelings without warning or reason. Secondly, memory and remembrance. Even a brief moment of love can leave a lasting mark on the speaker's memory. Thirdly, resentment and betrayal. The speaker's emotions shift from nostalgia to bitterness as he looks back on a lost relationship. Fourthly, courtly love and power. There may be deeper implications with the poem, possibly hinting at Wyatt's political and romantic ties to Annie Boleyn, blending personal emotion with court intrigue. So far, we have seen about the author introduction, summary, and main ideas and themes of the poem. So now we are going to see about important things and questions in it. Theme of inconsistency in love. Why do the women who once loved the poet now avoid him? What does this suggest about the changing nature of human relationships, especially in a courtly or romantic context? Use of animal imagery. The comparison of women to tame animals who have become wild adds richness. What is the effect of this metaphor? Does it suggest the speaker felt in control earlier and has now lost power? Tone shift in the poem. How does the tone shift from gentle nostalgia to bitterness and sarcasm? What does this shift tells us about the speaker's emotional journey? Fourth autobiographical element is the poem personal reflection of Yacht's possible relationship with Annie Boleyn. How does the knowledge of Yacht's life at Henry VIII's court influence the way we interpret the poem? Role of memory. How does the memory of a specific romantic moment affect the speaker? Is he comforted or hunted by it? Courtly love and gender dynamics. How does the poem critique the courtly love tradition? Is the speaker portrayed as a victim of female betrayal, or is there a deeper commentary on power, status, and expectations? Moral judgment in the ending. What do you make of the speaker's final sarcastic question about what she deserves? Is he bitter, justified, or hypocritical? Eighth, structure and form. The poem uses royal rhyme. How does this formal structure contrast with the raw emotion within the lines? Ninth, language and diction. Notice Yacht's choice of words like flee, forget, newfoundlessness. How does this reinforce the speaker's sense of loss and betrayal? Tenth, the universality of emotion. Despite being written in 16th century, does the speaker's emotional experience feel relatable today? What makes the poem timeless? Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.